Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing us how to draft and sew an overlap skirt slit or a skirt vent, and this one is going to be at the back. So now we'll be drawing the pattern for the back pattern for the basket, and first make sure you leave some space behind first. So I'm leaving about 4 inches. You can make it to 3 or 4 inches before the main pattern. Okay, so the next thing now, I'll be creating my zipper allowance, which is 1 inch. So I've drafted that the zipper allowance. Then after this, we go ahead and to the skirt proper. So I'll be measuring my hip line, that from my skirt hip down, from my skirt waist down to the hip. Okay, so which is 10 inches. Then the skirt length now, which is 22 inches plus 2 inches hemming allowance. Okay, so I will connect this dotted line yes, with a straight line, just like so. Okay, so now we'll now go ahead and fixing the body measurement. The skirt waist divided by 4 which is 7.5, 1 inch for that allowance, then 2 inches for seam allowance, and also the hip measurement plus the seam. So after the hip measurement, whatever measurement we have on the hip line, we'll bring it down to the skirt length also. Then we'll connect it with the straight line. So it's just this normal basic straight skirt that we're making. Okay, so just make sure the lines are well fixed. Then we'll connect the hip line to the waistline also, just like so. So we're done about the body measurements. Okay, now we'll go ahead to the darts. Create the darts like 3.5 or 4 inches long. Okay, then the 0.5 inch on both sides. Then you create that V sign of the that. Then okay, so after this, we now go ahead and fix the vent. Okay, so from the hip line, you decide how deep you want to go. Since it's a short skirt, so you should be mindful of the length also. So now from the actual skirt length down to the hip line, that's where you're going to create. So for the sake of this video, I just went down by 5 inches from the hip line. Then I extended it by about 2 inches. So you can make it up to 3 inches or 4 inches extension, depends. But just for a simple vent, 2 inches. Remember, I went down 5 inches from the hip line and I created the extension. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. And that's just it. All you need is just to create some extra allowances. Okay, at the after the zipper allowance. So that is it. So after cutting it, we'll go ahead and cut it out on the fabric. Okay, so I'll be using this fabric. So I'll secure this on the fabric, then we'll cut it out. So just cut like so. Everything according to the paper. Okay, so this is what we have. So now we'll make sure the cloth is well secured. Then we'll go ahead and create the zipper allowance. Okay, like mark where the zip is going to stop. So I'll be using about 8 inches for the zipper. So from there, mark the 1 inch. Then at the down there before the extension, you mark the same 1 inch just for the zipper allowance. So you connect it because we're going to sew on that allowance and bend it carefully, just the way the chalk runs. That's how we are going to sew it. Okay, we'll sew accordingly, just like so. That's how the machine is going to run. Okay, so another thing, like in case you're making the skirt proper and you want some fittings at the back there, so you can go in by some inches. So I went in by 1 inch. Then you connect it to your actual zipper allowance, just the way I'm doing. So this one is just to have fittings at the back below the buttocks there, so that the clothes can be more fitted there. And you're going to sew it just the way the chalk runs also. So this one is just an extra topic, but it's not the topic for the day. So But now back to the actual reason why we are here, creating on the vein. So you just sew accordingly like that. So now I've stitched on it, and this is what it looks like. Okay, you can see, please just pay attention because the thread is not is I use a black thread actually. So now you're going to hold the actual allowance that is for the vent. Make sure you can feel it from behind. Just watch the video carefully, and by the time you fold it, make sure it's facing you. The extension is going to be facing you, and make sure it's well folded just on the exact allowance that you created for it. I used 2 inches plus the 1 inch zip allowance. Everything is going to be 3 inches for this extension. Okay, so make sure you fold exactly on the 3 inches, and the folding should be facing you while the cloth is on the inside, just like so. So I went ahead and secure it with a pin. Okay, then you turn it to the other side, which is the right side now. Then take it to the machine and stitch slantly in order to secure the vent on the inside. You can see after folding, this is what it looks like from the outside. So now where the sewing stop, you can see where I put my hand. That's the beginning of the vent. Okay, make sure you note that place. That's where you're going to stitch. Then you create just a you're going to sew a slanted line, just the way I do the chalk now. Okay, we're going to sew about just about that 3 inches, but shouldn't be more than that, just to sew on top of the vent. So I've done that. I've stitched it. You can see the slanted line. You can see. Okay, so now this sewing will only help me to secure the vent. So you can see it's overlap already. So this is an overlap slit. It's as simple as this. Okay, I didn't put lining on this because just for the sake of this tutorial. So you can go ahead and fix your lining, or you weave the edges using your overlocking. Weave the edges or you fixing the lining. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's beautiful and easy to make. Okay, so I hope this video is helpful. If it is, please remember to give this video a thumbs up, and if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye.